Hey, now we are back with Bucky Harris autograph analysis. But before we start that, if you're watching this, hit the like button. I usually don't ask, but why not? So punch that like button. But the Hall of Fame, I did a live video. It was a lot of fun with Jake, Mike, Bill, and Steve on Sunday, and Jim Leland got in, and we were talking about just about his autograph analysis. I'll get to him when I get to L. He's not a very rare autograph. That being said, I would hold off a little bit about buying stuff. Granted, he's 78 years old, but he's in relatively good shape, besides the fact he's a chain smoker. But as you can notice, I kind of changed the view because I forgot one of the items in my collection, which is really cool, is that right there. That is Jim Leland's 2013 All-Star jersey that I bought directly from Jim Leland's. He consigned his collection. It's signed, it's inscribed. It was actually the batting practice they wore the day before. They wore their actual home uniforms the day of the jersey. But still, very cool item. Very cool item. I forgot I even had that when we were talking. I kind of buried the lead there. So they were all impressed. We're on the video. I thought Jim Leland had an excellent chance, and Joe West did not have an excellent chance of getting in. Turns out I was right. So that was exciting. So, okay, I'm off my Jim Leland horse right now. Let's go into Bucky Harris. Bucky Harris is interesting in the fact that probably the only manager in the Hall of Fame that's in as a manager and had a losing record. Yeah, he had a losing record, but he went over 2,000 games. And when you're a manager, oh my God, glasses are kind of funky. Anyways, when you're a manager and you win over 2,000 games, that's kind of like a magic number. So he had the magic number, got inducted in 1975. Passed away in 1977 from Parkinson's disease. As far as I could tell, though, his signature was not that shaky at the end, even though he had a long battle with Parkinson's disease. We'll start talking about his autograph, and you'll see there's plaques out there, even though he had a fairly short window to sign them. He was not very good through the mail, believe it or not, but he still signed them. I mean, if you can get to him, there's a fair amount of plaques out there. They're not too expensive. They're about a couple $100s, which is not that bad for someone that only had a 2-year window to sign them. So if you're into that, they're out there. They're not impossible. So I guess without any further ado, let's talk about Mr. Stanley Bucky Harris. So I'm going to start with the PSA database like I always do. Now, this is a really old album page of his. This is a gorgeous 1937, probably signed Bucky Harris autograph. What's a little interesting about this is you could see, I guess the most common thing what you see with Bucky Harris is usually was a break between the B and the U that kind of went away later on, and the Y almost always connected to the H right here. I'll say, if I don't see it connecting to the H, I get worried. As for the H right here, it's kind of weird. Like the H would loop around right here. It would touch this H. If I saw on Harris that went through the H right here, over past the beginning of the H, I would pass on it. Then he had an A right here. The A was always open and finished his name. Ron thinks it's a beautiful autograph. I think it's fair. I think it's meh. So again, common autograph right here. Now you see the B attaches to the Bucky. Again, every name should be in cursive. The B should be a capital B like this. The Y connects to the H. Again, it should be a nice, flowing, smooth signature. Not a ton of bounce. I usually like it when the H doesn't connect to this H right here. That's what I'm looking for when I look for his autograph. Again, right here. This is probably signed later on in life is my guess. I still think it's good. The Y connects to the H. It's a little shaky, so I'd be a little hesitant. I'm curious what the rest of this letter is. I would imagine this is signed towards the end of his life. And again, the Bucky usually, not always, but usually has the quotations around Bucky because his real name was Stanley, not Bucky Harris. Again, common signature right here, Bucky Harris with the B, the U, the H. Again, the Y connects to the H, and there's a break between this H and this H. The A is open. It doesn't have a lot of bounce to it. Again, not a rare autograph, a couple $100s. Again, this is what if I were to buy a plaque postcard of his, this is what I'd want to see again. Again, not a lot of bounce. Now, again, he died of Parkinson's, but again, this was signed the last 2 years of his life, and you don't see a lot of shakiness right here, what you would associate with Parkinson's. So again, break between the H here and right here. This was what I wanted to see. So I want to give you my 2 cents and a little bit about Bucky Harris's autograph coming up in the forgeries. And there are a lot out there. But again, I think these are all good right here. Bucky, the Y connects to the H with the break in between. Again, there's a little more bounce in this right here. I imagine this was signed a little bit later towards the end of his life right here. So this ball right here, this is just different, for lack of a better term. So again, usually when he signed the H right here, usually loops around. Granted, the A is open right here. Ron thinks this ball is no good. The B is a little open right here, more open than I would like to see. According to Ron, obviously this is an E.S. Bernard ball. You see the Bernard up here. According to Ron, there are no single-side E.S. Bernard, Bucky Harris balls out there. I can't say that with absolute certainty, but he goes, there's these nice, clean Bernard baseballs out there with the nice Bucky Harris ball signed right on the sweet spot. And here we are at the PSA database, and here is that ball. So there's several of these out there. Apparently, this is the only one I could locate. Oddly enough, it's on the PSA exemplar list. So can I say for sure it's fake? No. But granted, what I wanted to see is the H with the loop barely touching the H. So this is odd for sure. If I were in the market for Bucky Harris baseball, fortunately, I'm not. This is the one I would not be buying. So real quickly, this is my autograph for Bucky Harris. I've had a few. I had a possible fake, which we're going to get to in a later. I finally settled, let's say, on a signed contract because he served in the office of, I think he was with Boston. Yeah, he was with Boston at this time right here. Granted, Ralph Kiner signed this also. But again, this is a formal Stanley R. Harris. Again, you're only going to see Stanley Harris on contracts and documents. This is a contract right here. I think this is a trade document. I'm not really sure. But again, you have a Stanley Harris and a Ralph Kiner autograph right here. So I love my documents. I love my dated stuff. This is what we have right here, May 21st, 1959. Plus, you got a full Stanley R. Harris, not a Bucky Harris autograph. I had another Bucky cut Harris that I bought from Rich. God, I can't think of his name anymore. Guy in New York. But anyways, I gave that to Jake as a gift. It was a cut. So that should be right up Jake's alley. So I just want to go to some of the fakes. And there's one photo in particular, and that is this one right here. This is not the best one. And Ron talks about a famous photo with him on the steps in the Yankees dugout as a manager. And my first Harris autograph I ever owned was actually the version of this photo. Now, according to him, and I did confirm this with Jim Stinson as well, this is a common autograph that it's forged. So, I mean, it's kind of tough to see right here, but these are all over eBay, these autographs right here. And it's my opinion that if he said Bucky Harris should be signing it up here. Oh, let me blow this up. Like right here in this area or this area. I think any Bucky Harris that's signed vertically is good. I think this one is good right here. I like to see how there's a break right here between the Y and the H. He said they're almost all fake. Again, he said they're signing felt tip pens, the fakes. This is obviously not a felt tip pen. This is probably a big pen, whatever, a ballpoint pen right here. So again, I think these are good, the ones that are signed diagonal right here. This is one on eBay. This is kind of a joke. There's no Bucky Harris that I know of that has any K like this with no what's it called, that isn't connected. Obviously, we go down, we look at it. They guarantee it'll pass TPA, but it won't pass TPA. Let's right here. This one I thought was a little odd for seeing just the Bucky Harris. I don't like the fact that it's like scrunched together, and I know JSA passed it, but it's usually he's signed fairly wide. I don't like how the H goes over the H right here. See how it loops, but it loops past the H. Usually it should be separated or barely touching, and this looks very like horizontal to me, not spread out. So just not a fan of this. I thought I'd point this out. Do I know if it's fake? No, JSA says it's real. Again, right here, I think this one is good. Because of the fact that, again, it's signed on it. It's personalized. I mean, if you're going to fake one, I don't think you're personalizing it. And number two, I like the fact there's a gap between the H's right there. So, again, this is another one that maybe is not good. I know JSA passes, so be it. And again, the H, you see how it's the felt tip. It's not really diagonal. It's more horizontal. So, judge for yourself. Just buyer beware on this photo. Again, I had this photo originally. I bought it. It came with the JSA. This is when I first started collecting DC's Hall of Fame autographs. I think I paid $50 for mine. So just buyer beware. So we're just going to keep on going here. This ball sold on Heritage for $4,000. I don't know what this is. I mean, was this signed on his deathbed? I don't think so. It's a Cronin baseball. So, I mean, like, it's an I. It's not even a U. I mean, he knew how to sign his name to the very end. He even dotted it. I'm like, what is going on here? You talk about shaky. I mean, this is shaky as shaky can be. So I don't know what this is. I'm just not a fan of this baseball at all. I thought that was interesting. Again, going to these plaque postcards, I mean, they're out there. I mean, he's usually signed with a break. Usually the white ones, black and white ones, are signed over here. The yellow ones are signed up here. So, but again, I just want to see a break. Again, this is another one where, yes, it's not a felt tip pen, but it's a cross. The H goes through the other H. I don't know if I can zoom in on this. Again, this is, it has the Bucky Harris down here. Again, just buyer beware on these. I think I maybe pulled even one more. Oh yeah, this is right here. This is interesting to me. And this, again, this sold on Heritage. We saw on PSA that usually there's a break between the H right here and right here. And this doesn't have that. So can I say it's fake? No, it has not a terribly old, but one of the older PSA, not brand new ones. So if I were looking at a Bucky Harris sign plaque postcard, because I'm collecting them, I would want to see a break between the Y and, I'm sorry, between the two H's right here. This is kind of scrunched together. Do I know for a fact it's fake? No, I showed you worse ones already than this one. So, but just be careful. I mean, it's not going through this H right here, which is the most important thing. So, yeah, I mean, if I were an authenticator, honestly, I'd probably pass this one. But just, again, if I wanted to buy one that I'm completely comfortable with, I'd want to see the break between the loop and this H right here. But I still think it's good. So, God, that's like 10 minutes on Bucky Harris. I'm a manager with a losing record who's in the Hall of Fame. So, but that's it. So we're going to move from Bucky Harris to Gabby Hartnett. I'll try and film that next weekend. But until then, as always, congrats again to Jim Leland and keep collecting.